and AM 1160. And this morning we're in the studio with Indiana Area School District Superintendent Michael Vuckovich. We talk with him courtesy of Marcus & Mack, a law firm representing injured people. He's out of uniform, I said, when you came into the studio today, because it's fun time for Indiana School District right now. Summer camps are underway, huh?
Absolutely. It's going incredibly well. It's a great time for kids. Our staff's doing an amazing job. It's nice to have a little fun this summer. The kids deserve it.
Yeah. And your son's with you today.
He is. My son is going to the IUP basketball camp this week, so he's with me now. I'm going to take him down afterwards, and he had a great time, and I'm glad he could be here with me this morning.
Hey, Alex, step around and wave hi to the folks on Facebook this morning, because we just get his hand. Cool. Okay, I wanted to talk very serious subject. School security, of course. We've had more than one school incident in the last month or so, and particularly the one in Texas is so distressing. And people wonder. We ran our poll question at our website, wccsradio.com, asking people, do you think our schools are secure enough? Overwhelmingly, they said, no, we don't think our schools are secure enough. We asked the following week, would you be willing to accept a tax increase to pay for increased security? And they said no to that as well. People really have questions and are wondering, okay, what's the best formula for keeping our students safe, our schools safe, and how do we pay for all of that? And I know that that's something that concerns someone in your position too.
Yeah, absolutely. Todd, what we're doing is we're watching closely what's happening at the federal level. There's speculation and word that the federal package may include some funding for schools to help pay for some of these costs. We understand and recognize the burden placed on our local taxpayers, and the board over the last 5 years have made a commitment not to raise taxes while increasing supports for our kids, both in the hardening of schools as well as the preventive measures with mental health and other type of avenues. So it's something we're paying attention to, something we're monitoring closely, and we're hoping at the federal level they'll take some action to help support us here at the local level, as well as our state legislators. At the state legislators, they have a pretty large, sizable rainy day fund set aside, and hopefully that money can come down to schools and help support schools in the area of school safety and other means as well.
Well, you mentioned something there that I think has become a much bigger part of the whole formula, and that is mental health programs, because those in the past have probably not gotten the attention that they deserved. I know that there has been attention given to them, but now it is really becoming an emphasis.
It is. One thing we're proud of, I'm proud of, is the leadership of our board of directors for allowing us to have 6 mental health workers, up to 4 school psychologists in our schools, an amazing group of school counselors really designed to meet the moment and go out there and meet the needs of the kids. Another thing our board deserves a lot of credit for is on August 10th, we're working with the Community Guidance Center, Open Door Crisis, as well as the the Clarion Armstrong Indiana Drug and Alcohol Commission. We're going to have a community symposium on mental health to make people aware of some of the science for mental health, how they can respond and how they can react, and how can they intervene. The schools are not the experts in that. We have a role in it, and we don't shirk those responsibilities, but we have to rely on our community partners to help us. So we're really going to take a community, try to lead in the community to get this conversation going, to make sure parents and our family members know what the signs are and where they can turn for help beyond the school. So it's something that we think is important, and we're just trying to do our part to take the lead.
The physical plant of a school district, of course, in Indiana, you've got 4 elementary schools, you've got the junior high and the senior high school. And of course, you've got other things like athletic fields and those sorts of things. All of them need to be secure for you and for folks within the district thinking about security for the students and the folks who are going to be on that campus. It is a constant thing, is it not, to review and to make sure that everybody is doing the right thing, making sure the doors are properly locked and that the systems are being followed correctly, but then also to review, do we have enough? Are we secure enough? Are the buildings safe enough?
Yeah, it is. It's a constant pressure. And if you turn on TV, it's a constant reminder. Some of the episodes that are happening, tragic episodes that are happening across this country right now, it's something we're paying attention to. We're lucky to have a great support system, not only internally with our leadership team, but we have critical friends here locally, like Justin Shaw, Chief Shaw, who does a great job supporting us and being reflective in our work. And we're constantly improving. We're constantly looking better and always constantly asking how we can get better, because safety is something that has grown immensely important over the years. It's always been important, but now people are really starting to pay attention to it. If you turn on TV, there's been a lot of tragic events, and we want to make sure that we're doing everything we can to prevent that. And mental health and prevention is a big part of that. Hardening of schools, I got to give the board a lot of credit. When you look at what we did at East Pike and now what we're doing at Eisenhower, we're taking necessary steps to make our schools more secure. But like anything else, it takes time. It's a process. And sometimes that's not okay. We understand the sense of urgency. But when you look at the inflation and the backlog and the issues in the supply chain, it presents hurdles for the school district. So we are involving our critical friends, like I said, Chief Shaw and other leaders in the state police to help us go through this and do this work. Last month I was here with two gentlemen from the state police. They're coming in the fall to do another risk and vulnerability assessment to help us really plan and guide our work. To say we could do this by ourselves or alone, I think is misguided and misinformed. So we want to involve critical friends like the state police and the borough police to help us navigate these waters because they're different. It's scary. And, people, I couldn't imagine being a parent, sending their child to school and having to face that reality. I understand what they're going through. Our thoughts and prayers for those in Texas, but we have a lot of work to do and we're not doing it alone. That's the thing we're most proud of, Todd. We have a lot of critical friends.
Training the grown-ups is one thing. Drilling the students in what are the proper safety procedures is another. And that can be kind of traumatic, especially when they're seeing things on TV and hearing things. And so it has to be handled sensitively, delicately, but at the same time, the point needs to be made to each and every person involved about how serious an issue it is.
We do. And Todd, I got to tell you, one of the biggest things our students can do and our families can talk with their children about is if you see something, say something. Auditor General came out and promoted that tool, came out of the result of what happened at Sandy Hook, I believe. And that's a very valuable tool. If we do see something, say something. When you look at these type of events or these type of tragic events, there is leakage, right? There is gossip, there is rumor, there is some sort of science out there that we could respond to. So what we do is we ask our families, we implore our families and our students that if you do see something, say something, and that's important. There's an anonymous tip line through this, Safe to Say, that allows us to interact, that allows us to find out what's going on, and also protects the identity of those who may be concerned about having a stigma attached to them for being someone who reports them or any type of retaliation. So again, I think the biggest thing our families can do is talk to their children. If you see something, say something. And our parents have done an amazing job reporting things themselves to us, and we're very grateful for that. But we have to be cognizant that this is a ongoing conversation. This is an ongoing concern, and we really can't put our guards down, unfortunately.
Late in this school year just passed, a couple of incidents at Indiana schools, and you had to address those. There were some people who weren't quite happy with the way that everything played out, and I know that you have to assess exactly what happened with every single incident. But communication becomes such a key part of all of this. Parents at home, they're wondering, we're hearing things. There's a rumor. Facebook can be really, really quick, and it can get out of hand and down the road a little bit too quickly for the proper information to get out. So I know that you emphasize a lot that communication aspect of getting folks the information that they need and making sure that we aren't snowballing out of control quickly.
Yeah, Todd, I think it's absolutely critical that we tell the truth and we communicate in a timely and appropriate manner. My job as a leader of the school district is not just to tell the pleasant things and the good things going on in the district. It's always to tell the challenges we're facing. After the event in Texas, we sent a message out to their families to make sure they understand what we're doing preventively. Even most recently at the event at the middle school, we wanted to make families know what's going on there to the best of our ability. And we have to really thank the borough police, the district attorney. Everyone was there to help us out and navigate those waters. But being in these roles and being in this position is, one big requirement is to be a timely and efficient communicator. And we work our best to do our best in that manner. And even when you have to have the harsh and difficult conversations.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. One of the other aspects of the whole security issue involving schools is extracurricular non-school day activities. Sporting events can have 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 people at them. Basketball gyms get crowded with people coming from other schools and from other areas just to see an event. And that becomes a whole separate issue as well when fans get emotionally caught up in a game and game officials are having the pressure put upon them. And those things can get out of control very, very quickly as well. I know that other school districts in Indiana area as well, you're very concerned for that, making sure that you have not only adequate numbers of personnel, but people who are properly trained in diffusing situations.
Yeah, absolutely. We're fortunate at their middle school and high school to have 2 retired state police officers who we hire through a third party as armed security. But extracurriculars are important. It's something we're always paying attention to make sure we have a safety plan in place and make sure we're working with our critical friends to have proper supervision and proper coverage. Sports are a great outlet for kids and for our community, but we have to do it in a manner that's tasteful and fun and supportive, because right now I think what the world needs is us to be good to one another and kind to one another and respect one another, even in the most difficult moments. I think diplomacy and dialogue matters. Our fans are very passionate. We appreciate that. But like you said, we have to make sure we have a safe, secure environment for all, and we're working with our friends to do that. And there's more work to be done, and we'll be the first one to admit that, like I'm sure a lot of schools are. But the fact that we're having a conversation is a step in the right direction. The fact that we have a plan in place, I think, is also helpful. And we're constantly monitoring it and reflecting on it and seeing what we can do to improve it. I
think a part of that as well is over the past couple of years, the emphasis on student behavior. And it's been student-led, that positivity for the cheering sections, the student fans who come in and they want things to be positive. You want things to be positive, and a part of that message is how they are reacting to events at the games.
Absolutely. Our students don't deserve or don't get enough credit for all the work they do. They're an amazing young group of body. Like anyone else, do we make mistakes at times? We absolutely do. But our kids like to pick each other up. They lead by example, and it's important because their younger generation, our younger students, are watching them. Our students go there. They have fun. It's a great environment. And if there's something wrong, we ask the families or the spectators or people in attendance to come tell us so we respond. But our kids, it's really a nice outlet for our kids, and they do a great job supporting their school. They do a great job cheering on their team, and it's something we want to build. We want to continue to build that culture because it's a nice outlet. Whether you're playing the sport or you're coming there as a social event, it's a great outlet for our kids, and we want to maintain that and foster that to be a great environment. And we're really proud of the work they've done to help us grow that in that way.
All right. So you mentioned the symposium. I believe you said August 10th?
Yeah, we're looking at August 10th from 6 to 8 p.m. at the Indiana Area High School. More information will come out this week or next. Yeah. We have to finalize some things with our critical friends, but it's something we think is important, and we want to allow people that opportunity.
And we'll certainly have you on between now and then to talk about it.
Look forward to it.
I appreciate you coming in to visit with us this morning.
I look forward to it, and I'm glad to see you again, my friend.
You're off to camp today, too?
Absolutely, sir.
It's something else, isn't it? The way that this thing has happened the last couple of summers, it's just amazing.
It is. I mean, Todd, we have over nearly 400 kids coming there for free. Busing included, food and breakfast and lunch included. And most importantly, kids are doing two things, having fun and learning. It's a great compliment of the board of directors and their leadership, but also to our families for taking time out in their summer to send their kids to this camp. It really says a lot about what we're doing and the type of families and community that we live in.
Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate your time.
Like as always, thank you so much, my friend.
Michael Vuckovich, the superintendent of the Indiana Area School District. It is 8:24 in the morning. It's the voice of Indiana County, WCCS 101.1 FM, AM 1160.